We officially opened the FBI's 56th field office. I want to start by thanking the distinguished guests who are in attendance today for this important occasion. Governor Gianforte, U.S. Attorney Kurt Alme, Mayor-elect Michael Nelson, staff representatives from Montana's congressional delegation, and of course the folks who've joined us today on behalf of our many local, state, tribal, and federal law enforcement partners, community leaders, and members of the media. Since many here don't know me, my name is Michael Glasheen, and I serve as the Operations Director for the FBI's National Security Branch. While the National Security Branch covers our counterterrorism, counterintelligence divisions, as well as our Threat Screening Center and Directorate of Intelligence, I am also responsible for overseeing the FBI field offices in the Western region of the United States. Part of that job entails making sure our personnel in this region of the country have all the resources and support they need to fulfill our mission of protecting the American people and upholding the Constitution of the United States. That mission underscores our commitment to the people of Montana, who until now have been served by the FBI's field office down in Salt Lake City, Utah. But what we've noticed over the past 5 years is a 66% increase in the number of FBI investigations opened up here in Montana. Those investigations were being run by our 9 Salt Lake City Residency Agency office, otherwise known as satellite offices, located throughout the state of Montana, but overseen by the field office in Utah. Under the previous setup, that Salt Lake City field office had investigative and operational responsibility not only for all of Utah, but Montana and Idaho, as well, a territory of more than 300,000 square miles. What's more, the FBI's caseload for Montana accounted for over half of the investigations managed by the Salt Lake City field office. What that means is the FBI's nine Montana-based resident agencies combined carried a greater caseload than some of the FBI's smaller standalone field offices. That's why the current FBI leadership made the decision to uphold our commitment to the safety and security of the people of Montana by establishing a new field office here in Billings that will manage all of our investigations, operations, and personnel across the state of Montana. We know this office will better position the FBI to continue to strengthen our incredible relationships with our local, state, tribal, and federal law enforcement partners to protect and serve all of you. In addition, this office will offer the governor and state leadership even more opportunities to engage directly with an FBI executive based here in Montana, rather than the one who sits in another state almost 500 miles away. Not that there's anything wrong with the one that sits 500 miles away, but having someone direct in here is going to be, I think, more efficient for all of us. Now, before I introduce the governor to say a few words, I wanted to leave you with some interesting history about the FBI's work in this state. You may not know that while Billings is the newest FBI field office, it's not our first time having one in Montana. In the early days of the FBI, we operated a field office in Butte. The Butte field office closed in 1989, but the Bureau stayed busy and effective in Montana. For instance, we apprehended the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski in 1996 at his cabin near Lincoln, Montana, after he terrorized the nation for nearly 20 years, planting bombs that killed 3 Americans and injured many more. In the 81-day armed standoff with the Montana Freemen and anti-government militia based outside the town of Jordan, Montana, which came to a peaceful end when the Freemen surrendered to authorities. Today, our agents, analysts, and professional staff remain dedicated to this region, investigating and mitigating threats ranging from terrorism, whether it be domestic terrorism or international terrorism, threats across the border with Canada, to counterintelligence, violent crime, cyber scams, and fraud. Now, I want to close by acknowledging the important contributions of all those here today who made the opening of the Billings field office possible. I want to thank the leadership and personnel of the Salt Lake City field office, the Billings field office, and the Montana resident agencies, Bozeman, Glasgow, Great Falls, Helena, Kalispell, Missoula, Shelby, Havre, for their endless hard work, support, and dedication of making this office a reality. I know this project took a lot of work and a lot of coordination and planning, and will continue to be a work in progress as we surge additional resources and staff to grow the FBI's footprint here. Lastly, I want to recognize that none of this work that we're doing in Montana would have been possible without the trust and dedication of our partners. Some of them are here today, so I'd like to personally thank our community, private sector, law enforcement partners for your continued commitment and support with us. Thank you for being here, your commitment to excellence, trust in us, and leadership, which is enabling and enhancing us the opportunity to serve and protect us in this area. While today marks a new chapter for the FBI Montana and for the communities here, it's also a deepened commitment to partners in that area. And together we'll continue to mitigate threats of violence, make our communities safer, and pursue justice. The opening of the Billings field office marks an exciting milestone for the future of the FBI's efforts in this community, and it honors the rich history of the Bureau's work in Montana. So finally, allow me to thank you for standing beside us in this fight to protect our local communities and people all over this country. With that, I'm honored to introduce the governor, who will now say a few words.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. It's great to join you today to officially celebrate the opening of this FBI field office. In addition to the dignitaries sitting up here, I want to recognize Attorney General Austin Knudsen, our top law enforcement officer in the state, and leadership from Northern Cheyenne, President Gene Small. Appreciate you being here to help open this office. Before I begin, I also want to take a moment to recognize Kurt Almy and to thank him for his incredible work he's already accomplished as U.S. Attorney for the District of Montana and for his life in public service. President Trump made an excellent choice in sending him to this office to crack down on drug trafficking, crime, and to protect our indigenous communities and to uphold the rule of law. He's already delivering and making the safety of our communities a top priority. Kurt, thank you. With this new office, the FBI is dedicating more resources than ever before to assess local, regional crime threats and leading investigations right here at home. Investigations that before were outsourced to the office in Salt Lake City, which is noted is a long ways away. More than ever before, Montana needs to do our part to defend our national security and prioritize the safety of our communities. When Joe Biden was in office, we experienced record levels of deadly drugs and violent criminals flooding into our country. With President Trump back in the White House, we put an end to our open borders, but the reality is our communities are still reeling from the effects, encountering transnational gang members and deadly amounts of fentanyl. Make no mistake, MS-13 and the TDA gang members have no place in Montana or anywhere in the United States. The work being done in this field office is directly responding to those crime threats, prosecuting criminals, combating fentanyl, and trafficking drugs back to the cartels to put an end to the source is critical work. This office unlocks our ability to strengthen our relationship with federal, state, local, and particularly our tribal partners to address our greatest needs. Through Project Safe Neighborhood, the U.S. Department of Justice brings together all levels of law enforcement, prosecutors, and community leaders to identify the most pressing violent crime problems in our communities and to find solutions. As Montana experiences the second highest rate of violent crime in the Northwest, I am proud to take part in this program with our federal partners at the FBI to crack down on violent crime and to make our communities safer. Across Montana, and with the opening of this field office, we're focused on ensuring that law enforcement agencies have the resources they need to lock up criminals and that our correction system is equipped to house the offenders. Together, we'll remain committed to providing the support needed for a safer Montana. To all law enforcement partners that are here with us today, thank you for your commitment and for your sacrifice. Know that we stand behind you and support your work. Thank you all for being here today.
Well, good afternoon. I'm honored to get to follow the governor and grateful to the governor and to Attorney General Knudsen for all their tremendous support of federal law enforcement, and especially the outgrowth of this office that's going to make a material difference in public safety in Montana. Also good to see others from state government, state law enforcement here, the Attorney General's office, other state officials, county officials. Good to see our mayor-elect here today. Good to see our tribal president and tribal neighbor from Northern Cheyenne here. Thank you for being here. And also good to see community leaders and law enforcement leaders here today, though it doesn't surprise me that everyone here is here today, given our long-term commitment across this state to reducing violent crime and making Montana a safer place. So thank you all for being here. An FBI field office in Montana will be a game changer for public safety. Montana's population continues to grow, and I think we all know a lot of these stats, but with that population growth, crime is growing. As the governor mentioned, we have the second highest violent crime rate in an 11-state region. Billings has the second highest violent crime rate of similarly sized cities in that same region. Drug trafficking organizations continue to push fentanyl, cocaine, and especially methamphetamine into our state, causing overdose deaths, causing crime, causing substantial community cost and addiction, and leaving that in their wake. This field office will directly impact those and other problems. With the field office will eventually come resources and experience that's going to work hand in glove with the prosecutors in our office, as well as with federal, state, tribal, local law enforcement and prosecutors across the state as we attack these problems throughout Montana. Alone and with other law enforcement partners, FBI already performs many critical functions in Montana, including they investigate violent crime in our Native American reservations. They lead the Safe Trails Drug Task Force on many of our reservations. Their Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team already helps find missing Indigenous minors. Their agents participate in Project Safe Neighborhoods, as do many of the agencies in this room, prioritizing the most violent offenders in our communities. Their SWAT team assists in manhunts, working closely together under the leadership of the Attorney General's office and DCI this last summer in the incident that occurred in Anaconda. They lead our state's Joint Terrorism Task Force, which of course keeps us safe from international and from domestic threats. Having resources here in a field office will allow the FBI to do even more of that. And having those additional resources to partner with all of our law enforcement agencies will also support our Homeland Security Task Force. Those task forces have been created across the United States by the President, and they're specifically to identify, disrupt, and dismantle drug cartels, as well as transnational criminal organizations like Tren de Aragua, and to deal with what those organizations are doing to damage our communities with drugs and violence. We've been victimized by them for too long, and I know we all think it's time to start taking the fight to them. So I want to finish by thanking Attorney General Bondi, FBI Director Patel, FBI Operations Director Michael Gasheen, who's already spoken, and for creating this field office here in Montana. And as a lifelong Montanan, I want to also welcome our new Special Agent in Charge, Justin Gherkin, he and his family, to the state, and to all of the men and women from the FBI who will be coming to our state to make us a safer place. Thank you. Today, public safety looks better for the future of Montana. Thank you.
That wasn't part of the plan right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for showing up today. Thank you for taking part in this event. Mr. Governor, U.S. Attorney, thank you very much for taking part in this, providing remarks to our Attorney General, to our tribal leaders, to our mayor-elect. Thank you very much for everything that you have provided to the FBI in the past and everything in the future. My name is Justin Gherkin. I'm the new Special Agent in charge of the FBI Billings office. And if I said I was thrilled to be here, that would be an understatement. I've spent 15 years in the FBI. I've been in several field offices across the country. And I will say that in the short period of time that I've spent in Montana, I cannot say how grateful I am for the welcoming comments and the warm receive that I have gotten since I've been here. If I said I was thrilled, wait till you see my wife. She is even more thrilled to become a member and a citizen of the state of Montana. So thank you for that. Going forward, I just want to say that the #1 priority for us in the FBI and the establishment of this FBI office is partnerships, combating violent crime, upholding the Constitution, and helping the citizens of the state of Montana. Anything that we can do to continue to keep the state of Montana safe with the assistance of our partners, whether it be local, state, county, or tribal, we will do that. We are blessed to be part of this community. I can't say enough about the support that you have given our agents, our task force officers over the last several years. I look forward to working with each and every one of you going forward. Can't thank you enough for everything that you have done for this state and for law enforcement in general. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you very much. So this plaque right here signifies the establishment of the FBI Billings office, established in 2025. As this office continues to grow, this plaque will go with the office and be hung as people enter the office.
Thanks, Justin.
Now to make this even more official. Sir?
It's Christmas.
You might need these.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Governor.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for taking part in today's event. Please stick around, mingle. For those of you that I have not met, please come by, let's shake hands, exchange information. But again, thank you very much for showing up today. We very much appreciate it.
They ordered them. So.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. I really, and listen, and I mean this very sincerely. It's an honor to have you here. It says a lot.